Hey guys, I don't want to talk much. I know you guys are probably like, oh my god, this girl talks so much. But I just want to quickly say before I get into this foundation routine that I actually recorded the routine you're going to see this morning. I just got home from work and I actually just set up my equipment quickly and taped myself do my foundation routine for work. And I actually had mixed feelings about doing this foundation routine because I knew if I did a foundation routine, I definitely wanted to do it from start to finish on camera. I have seen some videos and you can kind of tell that maybe a light application of foundation was applied before the start of the video. And I wanted to start with a bare face because I feel like it's more honest. I feel like, you know, it shows you what my skin really looks like. And it's just honesty for the sake of it. I feel like it has more integrity. And also it gives you a better idea of how well the products that I use work. It gives you a better idea how much coverage my foundation has, how much coverage my concealer has. So even though I'm pretty self-conscious about the marks on my face, I have acne scars on my face, I decided to just show you guys because I thought it would make a better video. So yeah, I actually recorded this in one take. All I'm cutting out is like stuff like me, you know, sitting there to let my moisturizer sink into my skin or washing my hands, things like that. But it was actually filmed just as one long take, and then I cut out unnecessary things later on. So that's about it. And you know, this is my routine for the most part that I use to get ready for work. Sometimes I'll skip even some of these steps when I'm running late, which I usually am. Not usually late, but I don't give myself much time to work. And I don't feel like we should need makeup to feel good about ourselves, but at the same time, I think it's a natural thing as a human to want to look your best and to want to look and feel as attractive as you can. And I think that I love that something like this exists, that makeup exists, and it can boost your confidence, and you don't have to worry about, you know, what people are looking at on your face. You can kind of just go about your day and feel confident. So I do like that about it. And I really hope that this routine helps you in some way. And I hope that if you have similar issues to mine or whatever, that you get something out of this. And I'm just really grateful for the NARS foundation because I feel like it lets me look like myself. Like, it doesn't change the tint on my skin. It's the best tint that I have found. It has a yellow undertone like me, and it's not orange on me, it's not red on me. I don't know how it looks in this lighting because this lighting is very artificial, but it looks great in pretty much every lighting, I think. And the color matches me very well, and the coverage is good, and I'm really happy that I finally found the right foundation. And if you've been having trouble finding the right foundation and you have yellow undertones, definitely give NARS a try. I use NARS Sheer Matte, but you're gonna see. So without further ado, here's my foundation routine. Thank you for watching, guys.
Hey guys, so I am going to start with my Oil of Olay moisturizer, and I use a moisturizer with SPF. And I take that much, about 1 pump. It comes in a pump. And I just apply some in my nose area, some under my eyes, some on my forehead, and sort of my chin area. And then I just spread it around. Under my eyes, I'm sure to use my ring finger to apply the least amount of pressure possible, sort of your most gentle finger. And I'm just gonna spread this around my face and rub it in and come right back. at this point, I always make sure to give my moisturizer about 5 minutes to sink into my skin. And when I do so, every other step goes on better. My primer works better. My foundation lasts longer, as opposed to it just feeling like it doesn't even want to go on in the first place when I don't give it the time to sink in. So try to give yourself that time. It absolutely makes a difference. Especially when you have a thick moisturizer that has SPF. And mine has SPF 30, which is great, but you do have to do this additional step. Okay, so I've waited about 5 minutes to let my moisturizer sink into my skin. Because I use one with SPF, it takes a little while to sink in. And it prepares me for the next step, which is primer. I just held up my Smashbox primer sample that I'm going to use in this video. And I use about that amount. It's hard to describe it, but about the same amount as my moisturizer for this primer. Something I also use sometimes is the Monistat anti-chafing gel. I know it's not meant to be a primer, but it has such similar ingredients that I can use it as a primer. I do prefer this a little bit more, but it's so pricey that I haven't bought one, and I don't know if or when I will. But I love the samples. So right now I'm smoothing that under my eyes. Same method with my ring finger. I'm getting my forehead, and pretty careful usually to get my nose, because I have some large pores on my nose. And I just put it on my entire face, and it really does help my makeup stay on all day long. I really do notice a difference. Some people say they don't, but I really, really do. And if you're curious about it, just go to Sephora and ask for a sample of the Smashbox primer. I'll leave the full information below in the description box. I'm going to leave all items in the description box. And here is my beloved NARS foundation. Oh my goodness, this is going to have to be a separate video, like how much I love this foundation. But I'm shaking it up. You should shake well. As I'm doing, clearly. And one pump. I'm going to start with one pump. And yes, with this foundation, you do have to purchase the pump, and I did so at the Barney's website, and it was $6, and I got free shipping, and it arrived in 2 days. And so many people are so angry about buying it, but I think it's worth it. I'll get back to that. So I just applied it, I rubbed it between my hands, and I'm patting it on my face. Now for this foundation, it really is best to use your fingers for application. Trust me, I've tried the brush. Fingers are the best for this foundation. And I get my nose really well because I hate for there to be any gaps. And I'm getting under my eye. And as you can see, I mean, my skin looks pretty amazing already, especially compared to how it really looks. It has covered so much already, and what I like about this foundation is it covers what you want it to cover. Like, I don't like for that definition that you see in my cheeks to be covered up, because it makes my face look just like huge and flat, because my face is kind of round, and the definition really helps. And it doesn't cover that up, but as you can see, it did a pretty good job of covering up my under eye circles and my acne marks. And the color is perfect. So I really like this. It's NARS Sheer Matte Foundation. And my shade is Tahoe. I'm shaking it again before I get my second pump. Now that's it. I am not going to use a third pump. It only takes 2 pumps for me to do my whole face. And trust me, people say things like that all the time, and I end up using way more. And since this is a pricey foundation, it retails for about $42. I don't know. I was hoping that it really would take a small amount, and it does only take 2 pumps for me. And I've got a lot to cover. But also, I just feel like using your fingers, it really helps use less foundation. The brush is not soaking any of it up, or the sponge, or any other thing you might be able to use. It just kind of sits on top of your fingers, and you get to warm it up the way you're supposed to with your hands, and it just glides on really well. And I can't say enough of good things about this foundation. I really love it. And I just kind of do like a pat with pressure. I wouldn't say I rub it in. I just like kind of pat with pressure and downward motions for the most part. And I'm just patting a little extra on my dark spots. Just what was left over, like between my ring fingers and stuff. And I don't know, just the 2 pumps just stretch. See, I'm still just taking the remainder and I'm patting it on. I love it. Patting it on my chin because I have more scars there. Lucky me. And I'm getting my nose really well. Foundation loves to come off my nose because I'm oily. And plus, I don't know, it just looks really good when you put a generous amount on your nose and then you blend it with this foundation. Otherwise, I don't know. Foundation can be hard for me to put on there between the fact that my nose is usually oily and the just crevices, the shape of a nose, I guess, makes it difficult, and my hands are gross. Okay, I've washed my hands. And I'm just touching it to blend any spots that look like they needed blending. It's kind of hard to pick it up on camera, but if it looks funny anywhere, I just pat it with my finger. And I don't know, NARS works its magic. I love my foundation, in case you couldn't tell. Okay, I'm going to do something with these eyebrows of mine. My eyebrows are really funny. They're sparse, naturally. I don't have much to work with. The shape is weird. So I kind of draw on my arch, and sometimes it comes out better than others. For this video, it didn't come out great, but this is what I do. I just fill in, I hardly fill in the part closest to my nose, like the inner edge, because if you fill that in too much, especially on me, like if I make that part look dark, I can get darker like the more away like toward the outer edge of my face I go. Closer to my ear, towards the outer part of my eyebrow, I can go darker. That inner part, that really inner part, has to stay light on me, and I just look really funny if I fill it in too much. And it might just partially be because my eyebrows are naturally sparse and I'm used to seeing them look a little more sparse. But I think in general, like a gradual darkening of color on the inner part just makes it look more natural and makes it look better. So I'm going over that really lightly just now. And I'm using Iman's eyebrow pencil. You can get it from Target, you can get it from Ulta. And I really like this eyebrow pencil. I think it only comes in one color, which is blackest brown. And I really like it. I'll leave the details below in the description box, but I've decided to leave well enough alone. Sometimes I do too much and try to improve them and just make them worse. I don't know. They're shaped really funny right now, but yeah. I'm kind of trying to let them grow out too, and then go get them done, and then I don't know, whatever. So this is I'm gonna start my concealer. Sometimes I will do my Blemish Concealer first before my foundation, but when you do concealer before your foundation, it kind of helps it rub off. That's the amount I use. It's a really small amount. This is Makeup Forever, and the color is 14. And it's Makeup Forever's full cover concealer. And I'm just dotting it on my acne marks. I just take a really small amount and tap into it with my finger. Tap off the excess, and then I go over the blemishes. And this concealer is a little bit darker than my skin. And That's one of the reasons I like to do the concealer for my blemishes first, but I don't know, I didn't think to do it, honestly. Sometimes I skip the step because I'm usually late in the morning. And sometimes I just wear my foundation to work and I don't use any kind of concealer. But this concealer is a little bit darker and it's great for concealing the blemishes, but it's not great for making my skin all one tone. So I don't know. It's a little bit off. But this is my Sephora number 57 Professional Pro Airbrush, some long name like that. I'll leave it below. But I love this concealer brush. It works well with thicker concealers like the Makeup Forever that I was just using. I had a lighter shade I got as a sample to use under my eye. I don't think that concealer performs well under the eye, and that'll be a separate video. But it also does well with, the stick form, which is a really creamy stick. It's just an awesome brush, honestly. It's really, really good. And I'm just swiping it against the top of the concealer stick and getting it on there. And I usually start like that so I don't go too heavy. And then any areas that need a little more coverage, I go directly in with the concealer stick like that. And then I just blend it with the brush again. Just the inner corner usually needs some more concealer. I'm gonna do it on this side. And look at that color match. In case you're wondering, that is a NARS concealer, and it's caramel. And it's perfect. And it's it goes really well with the Tahoe foundation. I'm not usually this picky, but I'm just trying to get it perfect for you guys. So that if you have that desire, you can see. If you have the desire to cover completely, you can get an example of that. Okay, I'm just about done here. And sometimes I make an effort to put the foundation on my lids, on my eyelids as well. And I don't know, I skipped it. I don't mind the darkness on my eyelids that some people have. I have it. Like along with the under eye circles, I have darkness in my lid area, and I don't really mind it. This is my MAC blot powder that I'm going to use to set my foundation. But yeah, I don't really mind the darkness. That's an Eco Tools travel kabuki, and it does that, and it has a little top that I didn't show you guys, but it's also just the aluminum. It's cute. And I start with my nose with a fully loaded brush because that's where I get the most oil, and then I go at an angle and get under my eye, and then I just do the rest of my face. But I don't mind the darkness on my eyelids. It's just that sometimes it can look funny if I accidentally, while doing the rest of it or whatever, I get part of my eyelid and then I don't get the whole eyelid, because then I have like random darker spots where my foundation covered up well and then spots where I didn't go over it. So now I'm just trying to make an effort to do my whole eyelid to make it all one color, but it actually doesn't look bad here the way it came out. But yeah, I didn't purposely go in with my finger and get my eyelids the way I should have. Okay, I'm just going to apply some mascara, and I'm using L'Oreal Voluminous in Black is Black. And this is my favorite mascara so far. It lengthens, it volumizes, and it doesn't make my eyelashes crunchy. I hate I've never really had a waterproof mascara that didn't make my eyelashes crunchy and wasn't really like quick drying and hard to work with. So I just get the washable ones. And one time I got some L'Oreal voluminous color that wasn't Black is Black, and I don't know if I just got a bad one, but it was much drier and it felt much more like a waterproof and I didn't like it. So I always get Black is Black now. But this one feels kind of dried up too. Like, even from the beginning, it didn't feel as wet as they usually feel. I don't know what's going on. Can't remember where I've been getting it from, but normally I really like this mascara. And I just kind of do this slowly because I have a tendency to mess up and get it on my big eyelids. And I'm going to leave well enough alone with that. And I'm going to get my bottom lashes. Something interesting happened here, but you shall see. I don't know if you can see, you can't see it, but I got like a little piece of the mascara just dropped right under my eyelid, and I had to clean it up. It doesn't look bad on camera, but I had to clean it up with a Q-tip, and I just took the Q-tip and twisted, and as you can see, it removed a good part of my makeup. So yeah, it shows you how well everything was covering because it was so dark without the makeup there. And I just kind of blended it out with my finger. It doesn't look funny on camera, but I was kind of pissed. And stuff like that is why I want to get the NARS powder foundation. And I want to use it to replace my MAC blot powder and for a little more coverage and for, like, you know, going over mistakes like that. But anyway, this is another NARS concealer stick. That's the color. The color is called Cafe, and it is 2 shades darker than the caramel color I use under my eyes. And I am actually, this is interesting, I use this as bronzer. I tried so hard to find a bronzer, and I could not find one dark enough. It's like they were all made for much more fair-skinned individuals, and, you know, I just think it's ridiculous that I couldn't find a bronzer. And I went to Ulta, I went to Sephora, and finally this really helpful girl at Sephora recommended that I use this. And I just wanted it for contouring. I don't want it to add a tan, add a sun-kissed glow, whatever they say about bronzers. I only wanted to use it for contouring because some foundations that I've used are really... they just make my face look really flat, like I was complaining about earlier. This foundation doesn't really do that. So really, I just use this to enhance. And I'm using an Eco Tools blush brush to buff out the harsh line that I made. And I just think it looks nice. I really wanted a bronzer to contour with, and it's perfect. It's like, it's a concealer, but their concealers are so creamy. I don't know. They're just amazing. I love NARS. I'm using my NYX blush in Mocha, which is just a really pink color, and I feel like it's called Mocha because it looks good on brown skin. That's just my own little personal theory. And I'm using the same blush brush that I used to blend my bronzer, and I just kind of get it on my cheekbones. I don't put it on the apples of my cheeks, and I like a light application of blush. I'm almost done. It's time for my NARS Orgasm Lip Gloss. Throw that on. And I wanted to finish the look for you guys, but a lot of the time I don't even put anything on. Or I put on like some, you know, chapstick or Blistex. But this is like a really flattering shade on pretty much everyone I've heard, and I'm adding a little bit more in the middle to give me a little more pout, make my lips a little more full. And I'm done. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna be there for it. Bye.
So that's my foundation routine, and I have not touched up my makeup at all. I really want a NARS powder foundation, and I would just use it to set my makeup. I think I would use it to replace the MAC blot powder, and I would use it just to like set my liquid foundation, and also for touch-ups. Like right now I would have touched up with that before coming on here with you guys, but this is good because you get to see how my makeup looks after a full day. And I really think that primer helps, and I really think it's very important to apply the NARS with your fingers. So yeah, all I've done is reapply my NARS lip gloss, and that's it. Everything else that you see is from earlier this morning, about 12 hours ago. Yeah. So thank you guys, and until next time, bye.